Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now,
you are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday, and it's Halloween and everything. Wow, that is fantastic. It's the first year in like 30 years that I don't live in a cul-de-sac with a fog machine, scary music, and lots of kids coming by for candy. It's kind of weird. I got an apartment now. But, whatever. It's Halloween. I still love Halloween. I'm not going to get dressed up or anything, unless you consider me as going as a handsome middle-aged man, rather debonair. No, maybe not. I won't do that. But anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. Of course, it is Halloween. Jim Gossett.
Darkness falls across D.C. with Democrats too blind to see. For the shutdown, they will get the blame.
Yeah.
We'll call out Schumer by his name. The American people they'll deprive to keep their evil hopes alive.
Yeah, they suck.
They want us to fund trans surgery, health care for illegals completely free.
Back in the
Their
hell with
real
you.
motives they'll deny, as Schumer tells another lie. 13 times they voted no. Voters will tell them it's time to go.
Bye-bye.
That is why they're filled with fright. They'll lose big election night. The House the Democrats won't take, even with votes we know are fake. Hakeem Jeffries, what a sap. He's the reason you won't get your snap.
Yeah, it's not a laughing matter though. It's damn serious. And the Democrat Party, they don't give a rat's behind about you. They're acting like suddenly Donald Trump doesn't, even though Donald Trump has been busting his rear end for 9 months now, working 15, 16 hours a day, securing peace deals around the world, securing trade deals around the world, securing manufacturing coming back to America. And the Democrat Party, all they can do is throw a pouty little temper tantrum. No candy for you. No candy for you, Democrats. You can just kiss my butt. Honestly, you look at what Donald Trump did, say, for instance, in China. You can't even begin to fathom what he has done for soybean farmers in America. Soybean farming, here, let me explain something to you. I'm an Iowa boy here. You rotate your crops generally in places like Iowa, even Delaware. I was in Delaware, Sussex County, Delaware. They rotate their crops. What you do is you rotate corn and soybeans. Corn is for feed for animals. If you raise your own animals, you will feed them the corn and you will sell the excess corn. And then in opposite years, you have to plant soybeans in that field because you got to rotate crops. Otherwise, it'll take all the nutrients out of the soil, etc. So you got to rotate those crops, and then you bring in soybeans the next year. And soybeans have been selling dirt cheap. And you don't make D word for Richard on those two crops. You really don't make much money at all. They aren't cash crops. But what Donald Trump has done is he's selling like 24 million metric tons a year to China. Now, can you imagine 1 million? No, you can't. You cannot imagine 1 million. You can't imagine 24 million. You can't imagine 24 million metric tons, which I believe is 1,000 kilograms, which is 2,000 pounds, right? 2,200 pounds, something like that. You can't even imagine the amount of soybeans that they're going to be buying from us and what a relief it is for our farmers. That's what he's done. And Hakeem Jeffries is saying that Donald Trump will starve children. You know what? Suck it. You are worthless. Hakeem Jeffries, Mr. Deadeyes, you are worthless. You got Chuck Schumer. He is a gargoyle with the osteoporosis. You got Nancy Pelosi, who stood in front of her $24,000 fridge eating $12 a pint ice cream during the height of COVID. You got all these people. They are awful, wretched people. They didn't give a rat's behind about you and me during the shutdown. They didn't care at all about you and me when inflation drove grocery prices, doubled the price of everything. Everything in the grocery store. You don't know that if you go to Whole Foods because you never look at your receipt. If you're a Democrat and you go to Whole Foods, you never look at your receipt. You don't give a crap about it. You just grab whatever and you put it in a cart. Well, you've never looked for yellow stickers. You've never looked for things on sale in the grocery store because you can't afford the good stuff. You've never had to deal with that. You've never, had to dream about having steak rather than just throwing steak in your cart. Well, a lot of people they have to dream about steak, and they have steak once a year, and it's a special thing when you have steak. Those are the people that the Democrat Party doesn't give a damn about. And you're going to pay for this. You're going to pay for this in the midterms. You're going to pay for this on Tuesday. Shame on you. You know what you're doing. You just don't care. You'd rather have illegals with SNAP benefits. You'd rather have illegals with health care because nobody will vote for you anymore if they have any common sense whatsoever. That's why so many people are leaving blue states like California. Blue states. There's communist states. They're leaving those states. Nobody wants to vote for Democrats because they make everything hell. They made New York into hell, for God's sake. That's why so many people are leaving these states for Republican states that have no income tax, like Tennessee, like Texas, like Florida, because they're tired of the nonsense. And I hope and pray that New Jersey elects a Republican government because it will change everything. And the Democrats know it. If you get a good Republican in a state that has been run by Democrats for a very long time, things are going to change for the better. And the Democrats will be out of power forever for what they've done. And shame on them for the people who have to suffer without a paycheck and go to work this week. This is awful. For those of you who've never had to live paycheck to paycheck, most of my career I've had to live paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes I didn't have a paycheck at all. And one time I had to ask a food bank that I did charitable fundraising for to pay my rent. So you don't know what it's like. And I can't imagine how tough this is for people who, not the fat SNAP benefit, lazy people who've been living on it forever. And you see them online all the time. They're the ones who are going to rob grocery stores. They're going to go out and rob grocery stores because their big fat butts won't be able to fill their cart to the brim with their SNAP benefits every month. And they eat better than you and I do, by the way. But for the rest of people who go to work and bust their butts, I can't imagine what it's like to go in and not get a paycheck as an air traffic controller. I can't imagine what it's like to be a government employee or even a soldier. We got soldiers during the Biden administration, many of our soldiers on food stamps. That should never happen. That should never happen in the United States of America. We got enough money to have 54% of SNAP recipients being illegal aliens. Then by God, we could take care of our soldiers. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous. And I'm sorry to start the show like this, but I have suffered. I know what it feels like, and I am agonizing for people who have to go through this because jackasses like Hakeem Jeffries want to politicize it and shut down the government so Donald Trump will take the blame. And it's not going to work because he's doing too much good. He's doing too much good, no matter how much you caterwaul. No matter, that idiotic No Kings protest that you thought would actually mean something. It meant nothing. You know why? Because you can't cover up the good that Donald Trump is doing as the greatest president we've ever seen. And he's great because he's busting his butt. He realizes his shelf life is short. And they put him through hell for 10 years, and he has arrived, and he's doing great things for us. And the Democrats look smaller every day, every dang day. It is ridiculous, utterly, utterly ridiculous. Here are some of the furloughed federal workers who are not being paid.
Okay, well, maybe we'll just be furloughed for 2 weeks, and then we go back to work. But now it's been like almost a month and a half.
Not getting paid, going to work every day. Yeah, a lot of us are struggling to get there. But we're doing the best that we can.
We don't know what's going to happen for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Everything is now up in the air.
I'm going to a food bank this weekend. I'm going to go to Wally World. Got a Wally World near my house. And I'm going to buy a buttload of groceries that I know that people would want. And I'm going to take some boxes to the food bank, and I'm going to help people out because I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I have money in my checking account right now. It's not down to zero before payday. That has happened very few times in my 30 years in broadcasting. And I've got some extra. And I'm going to give because it is awful to not be able to provide for your family. It almost killed me. And I'm going to help out. So I would ask you, if you can help out and you got a little extra, you do the same thing. Or you know somebody who maybe isn't getting paid, maybe you see if you can help them out a little bit. Because a lot of people are afraid to ask. A lot of people have never even been in the situation. I never dreamed of being on food stamps. I was on them 6 years ago. I was embarrassed, and I almost didn't say it on the air. I almost didn't tell you I sold cars for a living. I was embarrassed by it. Then I realized it made me who I am. It seasoned me to who I am. Would I want to live through it again? Hell no, I wouldn't want to live through it again. But it is a damn shame that we have people in Washington, D.C. who care so little about people. They put us through what they did the last 4 years, and now they're doing it again. And they're doing it again, and they don't even care. To hell with them. This is the head of the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, yesterday, putting the blame squarely on the shoulder of Democrats. This is the Teamsters. This is the Teamsters. Did you hear that? The Teamsters, reliably Democrat supporting. Democrats, you better turn this around because you're toast.
I represent 1.3 million working men and women in this country for the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. We took a position 3 weeks ago. Pass a clean CR, get to the table, negotiate a deal. Do not put working people in the middle of a problem they should not be in there. And we got to think about the families that are going to be affected.
Yes.
Think about when you have to tell your son or daughter they can't play sports because you're not getting paid. Think about when you can't pay your mortgage. Think about when you can't pay your tuition. Put the politics aside, get to the table, negotiate a deal, pass a clean CR right now, and then figure out the problems moving forward. And I want to thank the air traffic controllers. I want to thank the aviation administration for all their hard work and sacrifice they make. And look, security and safety of the airlines is paramount. Let's not compromise the safety and security.
There is no doubt the Democrat Party wants this to pay the health care for illegal aliens who they rely on for support, not only for the census, but they load them up with bennies because they come from places where, the benefit, the social welfare state that we have here is rich. And Democrats know that those needy people will still be spoon-fed their pablum for a pittance. And meanwhile, the people who are getting a pittance aren't getting anything anymore. And it is ridiculous. On the other side of the break, you know who else is against the Democrats? You know who else is saying, Democrats, you better do something? The pilots' unions and the Washington Post. The Washington Post knows what the Democrats are doing, so you better get it together. In the meantime, help who you can if you can. Let's take a break and come back. This is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
Street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over. Thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve. Socialist, Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of a muss. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
To the town of Portland I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna hit you hard. To Democrat mayors getting in my way, go ahead punks and make my day. F around and find out, F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out, I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
If Republicans do not like the law, they can go through the regular channels and processes to try to change it. That's why we have elections. So they can go through the normal processes and procedures of a democracy, but you do not threaten the full faith and credit of the United States of America. Shutting down the government just because you don't like a law that was passed. I have to say, no Congress before this one has ever in history been irresponsible enough to threaten an economic shutdown.
Until now, your Democrat Party, the Democrat Party has been throwing a temper tantrum because they lost. Even burning Tesla dealerships. That's how rotten to the core the Democrat Party is and its followers. That's why 70% of Americans believe the Democrat Party is on the wrong side of history, and they are taking themselves into the pits of hell. Oddly enough, purgatory is trending on Twitter right now. Maybe it's the purgatory that the Democrats are putting federal workers through and people on SNAP benefits through because they're getting paid. The Democrats will be able to go there and they'll be able to buy lots of candy for the kids. Won't even think about it this weekend. Democrats in Congress, they won't have to worry about a dang thing. They're still getting their paycheck. They don't care. They just want maximum pain. This is the several pilots unions members on Capitol Hill yesterday talking about the Democrat shutdown.
The biggest way to ensure the safety, security, and reliability of our national air traffic control system is to pass a clean, continuing resolution.
We are concerned that when our brothers and sisters in TSA and air traffic control are not receiving paychecks, that they're distracted and that they erode on the margin of safety that we rely on to go out and operate our aircraft and do our job safely as well.
Every day that they go to work, they have not only the weight of one of the...
Okay, I want to think about this. You know, a lot of times you make fun of people who work for the TSA. That is not a fun job. It is not a fun job because you're dealing with the same stuff every single day, and you have to follow the same rules. They're the ones who have to tell you got to throw away your toothpaste. It's not a fun job, and they're going to work now on top of every other thing, and they're not getting any money for it.
High consequence jobs in the entire world. Now they're feeling, how do I pay for my gas? Yeah. How do I put food on the table?
No one should have to work without being paid. Congress owes it to the American people to get this thing done, get a clean CR done, and get the government back open.
Everyone knows, the Vice President, Congress, is that this shutdown needs to end.
Yeah. Donald Trump is calling on the GOP to deploy the nuclear option that would end the government shutdown. And since the Democrats are not going to be in power for a very long time, I say, why the hell not? They are not going to win the midterms. There's nothing that they're doing that anyone would want to vote for in the midterms. They are petulant children. They are on the wrong side of everything. They for God's sake, they went along with the mania of child sex surgeries. Okay, and by the way, there's a new study today that shows it was all just social contagion. And everybody who bought into it should be ashamed for the rest of their stinking lives. And this goes from parents to principals, to teachers, to anestheticians, to surgeons. You should be shamed. You should be ashamed of what you did. But that's your Democrat Party. They always go all in on absurdity, and then, of course, when things go to hell, they forget about it. We ain't forgetting about it. Donald Trump says it is sick from the now legendary Trump derangement syndrome that only comes from losing too much. They want trillions of dollars to be taken from our healthcare system, given to the others who are not deserving, people who have come into our country illegally, many from prisons and mental institutions, which is true. This will hurt American citizens, and Republicans will not let it happen. It's time for Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and get rid of it now. And as far as I'm concerned, for the good of the people who are suffering right now, if you have to do it, then to hell with it. Throw your cards in. All in. All in. Ridiculous. Here's J.D. Vance talking yesterday about the shutdown. Very powerful words, by the way. And he was great the other night at the Charlie Kirk rally.
Here is our very simple proposal to the Democrats. Let's sit down and come to a compromise and work it out. And you know what the Democrats' response to that is?
You're going to starve children. You guys are starving children. Oh, my God, starving children. We didn't care that 300,000 children were trafficked across the southern border to be, raped every day and put to work. No, we don't care about the sex trafficking. Didn't matter at all, but they're starving now.
Tell us everything we want, or we're going to shut down the government and keep it shut down. That is not reasonable behavior. That's not how you do compromise in this town. That is the way that the Democrats have operated. They are trying to take a hostage, and we can't reward that behavior. If we do that, if we say, yes, of course, we'll give you everything that you want if you reopen the government, you know what's going to happen? In 3 months, they're going to come back to the administration, and they're again going to say, we're going to shut down the aviation industry. We're going to deny people SNAP benefits unless you give us exactly what you want. That's how a child behaves. That is not how a responsible governing party behaves in the United States of America. And let me make one final point, and then we'll cut out of this press conference. Look, I've been a little bit unfair, and I want to correct this, because when I say the Democrats have shut down the government, it's actually the far left side of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, 100%. The far left side, who have control of the Democrat Party right now. Tony Kinnett's going to be joining us in a second. If you've experienced phishing or malware on your computer, and I do all the time, you might consider web root total protection. I get this stuff all the time, telling me, "Oh yeah, the mode of payment on this account has been expired, and we're going to charge you for a late fee." And you go, "Okay." You give them your credit card information. You realize, "Oh no, I don't have an account with those people." They do everything. They try all sorts of tricks. WebRoot Total Protection will stop at real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, phishing, scams all the time. You get them on your cell phone. You see the number that shows up, and it's from, whoever, haven't talked to you in a while. Really? No, I don't know you. Please. Firewall and network monitor, web threat shield detects and blocks malicious websites before you visit them. Family protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, and other dependents. Up to $1 billion in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. Advanced dark web monitoring, all of this with WebRoot Total Protection, and all right now 60% off. But you got to go to webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. One device, one computer, $20 for a year. Are you kidding me? Webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. I trust him. You should trust him. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal. He's always awesome on Fridays. Actually, he's awesome every day of the week, but especially on Fridays, and he's next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
With talent on loan from God. And have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine.
All audience expectations every day behind this, the Golden EIB microphone.
Rent free, in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
Rob, wait a second. We're going to do the Monster Mash.
Ooh, I love it. Happy Halloween. Come on.
I was working in the lab late.
Our favorite Friday guest, and actually one of our favorite guests, period, is Tony Kinnett. He's with the Daily Signal, also does a glorious radio program, WIBC, in the center of the heartland, where they'll be selling lots of soybeans to China, thanks to Donald Trump. How you doing today, sir?
I am fantastic, and our soybean field right behind the beautiful Tony Kinnett studio is bought and paid for by Hoosiers, and then we, of course, sell that to the international market and get good old rare earth minerals in exchange. How are you, my friend?
My God, I'm fantastic. You got young kids, so Halloween is a lot of fun. Are you the cool dad in the neighborhood? Because I was always the cool dad. I had the fog machine. I had the scary music and everything, and the full-size candy bars. I did the full-size candy bars. Now I'm living in an apartment, so I'll have, like, neighbors come by. I'll give them a Diet Coke or something. But how about you?
I am so sorry to disappoint you. I am the shut off all of the lights, leave me alone.
What?
When it comes to, okay, it's not like it's nothing personal. I grew up in the era of kind of the dad out in the middle of nowhere, leave us alone.
Yeah.
I'm not much of the.
You had the survivalist dad who, would let you out every couple days.
Oh, no, I was allowed out forever and a day, but I was also the only kid allowed back kind of in the house. I don't know. We just weren't really big bring your sweaty children by.
Well, I hope Christmas is better. I hope Christmas is better for your kids. My God, you're Scrooge.
Oh, now we go all out.
Candy Scrooge over here. What the hell? Anyway.
Oh, no, my kids get candy.
All right.
I'm paying for candy for my kids.
But you stay the hell off my porch.
Of course, you take the dad tax.
I got you. Hey, man, so what, the Democrat Party is morally and intellectually bankrupt. They have been for a very long time. They're playing this game on the shutdown. Donald Trump is saying, let's go nuclear. And at this point, I'm like, let's go nuclear. I don't see the Democrat Party coming back into power. They're not going to win the midterms. They have no chance of winning the midterms. They are destroyed. You got 70% of Americans believe the Democrat Party is on the wrong side of everything. And they're just digging a hole into hell. What do you think?
I just think they're trying every bad strategy that's never worked.
I know.
And they're even running out of those to have Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and the same old people now go out, clutch pearls, and yell, Republicans want children to starve.
Oh, man.
Are you serious? Okay, look, we all do political lines, all right? This is part of the business. You get in there, you get a good line, it sounds great, it convinces people, it's got a little wittiness to it. This is just sad. This is something that, is made fun of in a South Park episode.
Yeah, it would be funny if so many people weren't suffering. And, normally, a lot of the times, I was talking earlier about TSA workers. You kind of make fun of TSA workers because they take your toothpaste. But, first of all, what a sucky job to begin with. You got to do the same thing every day. You got to live by the same rules. You got the same people telling you you've got to do that. And then people reacting by, oh, you're going to make me throw away my stuff? And of course, and then now you're not being paid. And then you got people, air traffic controllers, who are under enough pressure, for God's sake. And God knows how understaffed they've been. Like a couple months before I moved to Washington, D.C., they had a crash here at Reagan. A couple people working when 10 people should, and now they're not getting paid. So, my heart is with the people who are suffering through this. It is utterly ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely. It's insane to think that right now this is all over a continuing resolution that internally inside the Democratic caucuses, I was actually talking to a staffer for a certain purple state senator this morning.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that his Democrat senator has been angry for days because they believed they could get Republicans to chicken out on the illegal immigration health care issue. And he said now they have people that are calling their office around the clock saying, and I quote, I want to make this as a quote, pass the damn CR, is what Democrats are calling to their Democrat senators saying because, again, they're losing SNAP benefits. Federal workers are going unpaid. My concern is, of course, with the air traffic control.
Yeah.
I'm a small pilot. I work with those guys. They are overworked and underappreciated. And I'm tired of seeing them treated like trash by the Democrat Party.
Yeah, the Washington Post is acknowledging the fact that Democrats are pushing the certain demands in healthcare funding, telling them that they should fight this battle at another more appropriate time. And the Washington Post is getting a lot of grief. People writing the Washington Post, this is pathetic. What happened to the thought leadership that the Washington Post used to provide? Oh, dear God, that died years ago. Was this written by somebody from Project 2025? Or it seems the Washington Post has become a MAGA outlet. I mean, this is how polluted these people's heads are. But the Washington Post is saying, this is killing you, Democrats. Pull your heads out of your butts. And more so, you're hurting people.
I mean, as one of the actual authors of a couple of pages of Project 2025, you would not catch me dead writing in the Washington Post. Also, unlike the people complaining about Washington Post, our family actually does give to charity. So it's funny, actually, you mentioned, what we're doing for Halloween this year. And I promise I'm not trying to make myself sound impressive. There are so many in our community doing way more than we are. But we have actually taken some time out to try to spend a little extra on those who are getting ready to suffer with staff benefits. Our church is doing amazing stuff. A lot of churches are.
Good.
And again, it doesn't take an op-ed in the Post to tell people that that's really what Americans should be focused on right now. That's what frustrates me. I get politics. But sometimes you're the party that claims to be bleeding heart liberals. You claim that you believe in remember a couple of months ago, Hakeem and his, when I was hungry, you fed me, sermonizing at the podium? Yeah. Where the heck did that go?
It was all a lie.
What was that?
It's a lie. Dude, they didn't give a damn about us the last 4 years. I lived in flyover country. You live in flyover country. You know what it was like to go to the grocery store when Joe Biden was the president and inflation was 9% and the price of everything went up 50%. You remember when the store shelves were empty? Remember when the store shelves were empty when the meat was gone? Remember when the toilet paper and the paper towels were gone?
I got 4 letters for you. FEMA, FEMA.
Yeah.
How their disdain for those in this country are going through literal natural disasters, Western North Carolina, or whether we're talking about the horrible disaster in East Palestine, Ohio. They don't care. You're right. Dead right as usual.
You know what? We're rising above this, brother. And and you can feel it in your heart and soul that our country has come together in freedom and in faith. And Charlie Kirk's martyrdom only 2 months ago has only inspired us. And you know what? I think we're going to see a wave of giving like you've never seen before, and I would encourage it. We have to overwhelm evil with joy. We have to overwhelm the Democrat Party and their darkness with joy and patriotism. That's it. And I would encourage you, if you are a part of a church, give like you've never given in your life this weekend.
Right after the 2020 election, Scott Pressler came out before he was knocking on doors in Pennsylvania to raise voting registration. He led a group of people to the darkest inner city parts of this country, and he cleaned up streets, and he donated food. That's what he started his movement on. And that's just someone who's in the movement today. Before we get to the voter registration stuff, again, consistently proving we do a better job of taking care of our people and this country. That's Christian charity. That's what we're expected to do. And you know what? We're joyful warriors, glad to do it.
And I'm refusing to bow to their darkness. I am refusing to do it. I'm going to Walmart this weekend. I'm going to load a cart up, and I'm going to take it to the food bank here in Alexandria, and I'm going to do it because I can. I can do it, and I've been without. And it is a damned shame that there are people in Washington, D.C. who don't think twice about people suffering because they've never suffered like this before. I've been there, brother. I was on friggin' food stamps 6 years ago, Tony. I was on food stamps 6 years ago, and I'll tell you what, it was the best I'd ever eaten. It was crazy.
In a single parent household, when my dad's job left and went to Mexico because of the bad trade agreement, and it was just him raising me, we weren't rolling around in it. And one of the things that I remember from that specifically was that you don't take essentially the suffering that you're going through and use it to beat the crap out of other people.
No.
That is something that I was taught.
Yes,
to see the Democrats do this on the national stage right now, it makes my blood boil.
Listen, we got to take a break and come back. More with Tony Kinnett on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
imagine being a parent with a couple kids and how you're going to fill their refrigerator and pack their lunches and get on with their lives when the things that they've depended on now is gone because we can't even agree to just open things up. For a Democrat, we're not allowed to just open this up. I mean, then our party has bigger problems than I thought we might have already. It's like, that's not controversial. Pay everybody. And you have our workers here borrowed over $350 million to pay their own bills. Like, it's a failure. And like I said, to all of the viewers, I'm apologizing that we can't even get our shit together.
I got to tell you what, John Fetterman, for as much as when he was elected, I was not a fan of his. He had his brain shut off and turned back on again. It was reset and it was set right. And we disagree on a lot of stuff, but I got to give the man credit. While not only having a modicum of common sense, came back from a debilitating stroke to reinvent himself and be a voice of common sense to the Democrat Party. I'll give the man credit. Tony, what do you think, man? Tony Kinnett.
I think you should. And it's one of the things that I appreciate about you, and I think this is really a key thing, this gorgeous afternoon,
yes,
that we do recognize there are some people who aren't Looney Tunes on a few issues,
yeah,
and a little bit of positive reinforcement in that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'm currently watching you live on the Newsmax Rumble stream.
Yes.
And you look gorgeous this Friday, my man. You're dressed better than Fetterman, but I got to say, you're still a decent guy.
I got to get rid of this waddle. I'm hating this. This is driving me crazy here. I got to get rid of this under the chin. But otherwise, I think it looked damn good. You should see me without a shirt on. Oh, my God. It's fantastic. Anyway. I'm not hearing anything. Hello? Click. Hello?
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm just letting you go. You're talking about being shirtless, and I'm just going to let the audience hear that one, just a little bit. But no, I got to tell you, I am encouraged, and I think that we spend so much time deep down in the dark funk of how stupid some people are that we forget. There's a Democrat counselor, city councilman in Indianapolis, this young guy, and he focuses on infrastructure in the city. He is pestered all the livelong day to talk about woke crap and illegal immigrants and all this.
Yep.
And he said, I am only focused on getting potholes filled and sidewalks fixed.
Well,
And I got to tell you, I'm okay with that.
Here's the deal. Democrat Party and Republican Party, the basis for the two of them is the Democrat Party believes in a large centralized government. The Republican Party believes in states' rights. That's it. But they've made it into this social, leftist, Marxist nonsense. It is utterly ridiculous. We still believe in our core principles. We still believe in liberty. We still believe in states being able to determine their own sovereignty, to have their own sovereignty at times, to work with the federal government. The Democrat Party is just bat guano lunacy.
And that kind of lunacy directly hurts people. Do you hear J.B. Pritzker, Governor Golden Corral,
yes,
Hefferson Davis, as I've called him, saying, please, Trump, please, don't send ICE to Chicago on Halloween, as though the big danger to children, the streets of Chicago, is federal law enforcement on Halloween.
Yeah.
There were
They're
500
evil,
shootings in October 2024.
Wow.
Nothing on that.
Yeah, they're evil. The Democrat Party is evil. I want you to hear this. This is Janelle Bynum. Now, she's a member of Congress, and she is dumb as a box of rocks without the rocks. Listen to how vapid and empty this answer is.
We talked earlier to Congressman Tim Burchett, Republican of Tennessee. He was on the program. And he made the argument that Democrats in previous situations avoided government shutdowns by voting 13 times for so-called clean continuing resolutions that would fund the government at the previous year's funding levels. Why not agree now?
Well, look, I just got here. I don't play politics. I want a clean bill that focuses on the American people, that makes sure kids have a full belly. And, all of the clean this, clean that. Americans don't understand that. They know if they have their benefits or not. So put a bill on the table, make sure it's very pure and clean, as they like to say, and it doesn't have a whole lot of fluff in it.
Okay, what the hell? I mean, seriously, that's what we're offering.
Do you know how much I have lost brain cells watching some of these no-name representatives I've never heard of? I don't know. They must cook. They must use the extra leftover pieces of biscuit dough to make these people. and they come in front and they sit in front of the anchor. And they're asked a question, and they're like, well, actually, Republicans are fluffing stuff and a little gruff. And you can see Jake Tapper even going, I have no idea how to cover this. He's like calling Ken Martin at the DNC begging for an emergency line.
Well, here's what we got to wrap things up. But, Tony, this too shall pass, and it is actually a blessing that the Democrat Party is not realizing how badly they're bleeping things up. They don't recognize that they're killing themselves, and they are, and their party is done. It's not going to win in the midterms. I hope it's not going to win on Tuesday in Virginia and New Jersey. But in the meantime, we have to overwhelm them with joy and patriotism. That's what I suggested during 2024 when Donald Trump was going through all of this, and we were going through all this. We got to overwhelm them with faith and patriotism, and we got to give to people who don't have this weekend if we can, and then, and again, be positive and be faithful and be powerful. That's what we're going to do, brother.
I mean, you're right. And here's the thing. Every single real common sense American understands this.
Yep.
That don't believe all of the sad, the grumpy, and the ugly. We're doing it, man. And I tell you what, there's a reason I love this segment. Because that always comes out of you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, we got to hold hands. All of us got to hold hands, and the people who don't want to join in the circle can stay outside.
Gay. Let's not get gay. Easy there, sailor.
And then we can sing Kumbaya, and we can dance, and we'll dance around a maypole with ribbons. It'll be great.
What are you, a Columbia professor?
By the way, they're commenting. They love your word for J.B. Pritzker. Your name.
Yeah, they're asking me how to spell it. Hefferson Davis, the newest governor in America.
All right, man. We got to go. Tony Kinnett, where can people find you on the social media, your podcast, and everything?
I'm on X at the Tonus, TheTonus. You can find me there.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I love that guy. I swear to God, he's my favorite guest. He's my favorite guest. He's becoming a very good friend. I'm gonna write him real quick here. Hey, I'm driving across the country at Christmas. I may swing by and see you again. Period. Anyway, who's on here? Rob Carson looks professional and very sophisticated. Well, you can't see I'm not wearing pants. Did I say that out loud? I am wearing pants. I'm wearing jeans. No, I'm wearing khakis today. Let's see who we got here. I'm an American taxpayer working all the time. I have rough times, and I never qualified for food stamps. Not ever. Yeah, I know. But sometimes, I've been on unemployment, because the deal is, if you're in radio, you're on unemployment. You get on unemployment every once in a while. Deborah, 1955, is watching. Hello. Doctor appointment yesterday, but you're back. Yay. Thanks. Good. Cool. Daily Signal, Hefferson Davis. You love that. Daily Signal 01. Good to see you. Are you with the Daily Signal? Or is that, because are you with the Daily Signal? Because Tony's with the Daily Signal. So, we love the Daily Signal. We love Tony Kinnett. He's the best. He's one of the best guests ever. And he's becoming a good friend, actually. He really is. I mean it. Prady Yuprachet on the Facebook. What's up? How you guys doing today over there? I have a date this weekend. Shh, don't tell anybody. I have a date. I'm making a person dinner. I'm a little nervous. I've not been in a date since Kurt Cobain was alive. It's weird. I'm not going to bring it up on the air. Don't tell anybody. It's weird. It's really weird. First time having a date, and I know how to cook and decorate, and I'm like kind of cool, rather than just being a horny 20-something-year-old guy. It's kind of funny. And I hope they have some trick-or-treaters tonight. I doubt I will, but I went and bought a bunch of candy today. I bought too much candy today. I always do, because I like to give it to the kids. Anyway, here we go.
You know, about 2.5.
2.5. I'm going to play a little bit more of this Janelle Bynum. She's a complete empty-headed moron. And this is your Democrat Party.
They did have a clean CR vote on September 19th in the House. Did you vote for it?
13 times.
I disagree with your characterization and want
the characterization is no characterization, it's the facts.
To make sure that we're very clear about what Republicans have been doing. Any bill that they've put forth, they've always had some extra stuff to it.
No, not at all. You're lying.
There's always been a poison pill to it.
No, not at all. Not one little bit.
So I disagree with your characterization.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean. that was voted on in the House.
Yeah, what was it?
In mid-September.
Change the challenge.
Here's what's important. I think what you're trying to do is shift the responsibility to Democrats. Speaker Johnson controls the House. He should come back, pull Republicans off of vacation, and make sure that we have discussions on what the country needs. We know children need to be fed. Anything else is passing the buck and is playing politics.
This is like model United Nations in high school. No, it's not even that good. She's not even that prepared. My God, what a vapid. There are words I could use. There are words that I could use that have something to do with excrement, but I won't go there. How can people be this? Well, because stupid people vote for him. There you go. That's what I was going to say. How can people be this stupid? Because stupid people vote for him. Stupid people vote for people like Abigail Spamberger. Here's Abigail Spamberger. She's running for governor. She says she's not going to work with Donald Trump if she gets elected.
You position yourself as a consensus
governor in Virginia.
Builder, someone who works across the aisle. Would you work with President Trump on areas like job creation?
I think that, you don't work with the arsonist who burns down the house to rebuild it. And in this particular case, the individual who's responsible for an absolute attack on the federal workforce is not the right person to help rebuild our economy.
Karen cannot win. Karen cannot win in New Jersey on Tuesday. Karen cannot win in Virginia on Tuesday. Karen has to be driven back into the HOA and needs to just live the rest of her life in a cul-de-sac neighborhood being a grouchy old lady. There's no room for liberal Karen anymore in America. They've done enough damage. Let's take a break and come back. Hour number 2 of this Friday Halloween edition of the Rob Carson Show, including spooky goodness from Jim Gossett coming up.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
don't you go over to the hotel here? He won't do it.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative,
you don't want to do that. You won't have any cleaning ladies.
On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. It is also Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween. And I was just talking to Brian, my producer at WCBM, the glorious radio station, our anchor station in Balmer. And the Ravens won last night, by the way, handily, by the way. And they got a hell of a hole to dig out. I mean, I don't know if they can do it this season, but, still glad for that. But he told me their web guy is dressed as an ICE agent today. That's not funny. Oh, hell yeah, it's really funny.
Spooky, scary Democrats, they want you and me to foot the bill for gender surgery.
Yeah.
Spooky, scary Democrats, they want to give illegals health care, paid for by me and you. We don't trust you Democrats, not one single bit.
Nope.
You're out to destroy this land, and you never quit. Spooky, scary Democrats, each of them supports late-term abortion, guys and women's sports.
And skirts.
Spooky, scary Democrats, the shutdown is their fault. They are why the government has come to a halt. The death of their party, it is coming soon. Spooky, scary Democrats, you can never trust. Let's hope that the midterms for them will be a bust.
I hope so.
Spooky, scary Democrats, spooky as can be.
And that's Jim Gossett, by the way. If you want to help out Jim Gossett, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. He does just extraordinary work around the holidays. The Christmas stuff is coming. And he's already done, I think, in the time that I worked with him, in the 5 years I've been syndicated nationally, 3,000 songs. Maybe more. I don't even know. He does 2 every day. So just go ahead and subscribe if you would to on patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. SNAP benefits, by the way. Good time to reassess. 54% of federal benefit recipients are non-citizens. And SNAP benefits blew up when Joe Biden was the president. And it's got to stop. Sorry, illegals. No Snappy for you. No, bullcrap. Liberal media claim that 89% of SNAP recipients are U.S. born and less than 11% are foreign born, including 6.2% naturalized citizens. That's bullcrap. More than half of illegal immigrant households have at least one U.S.-born child through whom they can receive. Nearly 2.7 million households have at least one illegal head and one child, and more than 5.3 U.S.-born or illegal aliens hold Social Security numbers. The total estimated cost to American taxpayers providing SNAP benefits to the children of illegals is $5.8 billion. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, 54% of households headed by immigrants, including naturalized citizens, legal residents, and illegal immigrants, used one or more major welfare programs. By comparison, 39% of U.S.-born households receive such benefits. Among non-citizens, the rate raises to 59%. And for illegal immigrants, an estimated 59% use at least one welfare program. We're not here to be the world's welfare. No. You come to this country and you bust your butt and you make a living. That's what you do. I mean, there have been countless people. My ancestors, for God's sake, they were German. They were the Gets. That's what I found out when I found out my adopted family. They came here poor, and they plowed fields, and they fed America. They did all back in the 1800s and in the early 1900s. The American Enterprise Institute further reports that 59% of illegal immigrant households receive welfare. Compared to U.S.-born illegal-headed households use every major program or statistically higher rates except for SSI and other programs. At the start of 2022, the net cost of illegal immigration in the United States at the federal level and local levels was estimated $150 billion. The Federation for Immigration Reform reported that federal expenditures on illegal aliens alone totaled $66 billion, including more than $23 billion in medical expenses and $11.6 billion in welfare benefits, such as food stamps and all of that stuff. Let's see what else here. This is a great article, by the way. I believe this is from the Gateway Pundit. They're awesome, by the way. Biden's American Rescue Plan provided states with $350 billion in federal flexible funds, which some states used to give unemployment payments to illegal immigrants. New York created, listen to this, $2.1 billion in programs for illegals, paying benefits to 290,000 people who received the equivalent of, are you ready for this? $3,000 a week! $12,000 a month. Can you imagine what you could do on $12,000 a month? Could you imagine what you could do with $12,000 a month in benefits? 290,000 people, the equivalent of $3,000 per week. This compensation was intended for those who lost their jobs during the pandemic, even though they were working illegally without a work permit. Throughout September 2025, New York recorded migrant-related expenditures of $1.47 billion. In 2023, $3.75 billion. 2024, $3.0 billion. And $498 million projected for 2026. There you go. Wow. $12,000 a month. Come here illegally because people are fleeing New York. Got to have some bodies. Got to have some bodies in there. Got to have Democrats to vote Democrat, even though you're not supposed to vote. And don't tell me that illegals don't vote. Give me a friggin' break. If you got a Social Security card, you're going to vote. It's not going to work. The wheels are coming off the Democrat clown car. It's coming off the Democrat clown car. Everybody gets it, by the way. Oh, here, this is kind of good to know. I wonder what religion these people belong to. In Dearborn, Michigan, FBI arrests multiple suspects in a foiled Michigan Halloween terror plot. Were they Catholic, do you suppose? Do you suppose they were Catholic? Jews? Do you suppose they were Jews? You know, those Jews, they like to commit a lot of terrorism. Or maybe they were probably, I don't know, Dearborn, Michigan, part of radical Islam. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what it was. But apparently it has been thwarted. Thank you that we have a decent FBI.
Good day, Detroit. We are following some breaking news from the FBI this morning. FBI Director Kash Patel announcing on X that the FBI has stopped a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple people here in Michigan. They were allegedly plotting a violent attack over the Halloween weekend. Fox 2 reaching out to the FBI. The Detroit branch says agents were present in Dearborn and Inkster early this morning, but could not confirm if this was related to the terror attack plot referenced by Patel. Fox 2 has also reached out to the FBI on a national level. I want to show you some video that we have from Dearborn this morning. You can see FBI terrorism task force agents and MSP at this house on Middle Point. There you go, near Morass. Again, we do not know if these two cases are related. Patel said more details are expected to come out a little bit later. Of course, Fox 2 is staying on the story for you guys.
Yeah, isn't it nice that we are hearing about it being thwarted rather than picking up the pieces later? Dearborn should be under a microscope. So should Minneapolis, by the way. Minneapolis, the guy who's running up for mayor up there, the guy who held Tom, what was that movie? Captain Phillips? Yeah, Captain Phillips. That guy, I think he was one of the terrorists who kidnapped Captain Phillips. He's running for mayor up there who's waving the Somali flag and expressing his allegiance to Somalia, the crap hole that is Somalia. Yeah, you know what? It ain't going to last. It ain't going to last. Haven't given up hope on New York City. Although, did you hear Rob Finnerty did an interview with Curtis Sliwa, and it was pretty incredible. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. He got into a little to-do. Let me see if I can grab it here real quick. But Rob Finnerty talking to Curtis Sliwa, and it was something else. I mean, Finnerty basically said, why haven't you asked Donald Trump to come to New York City to here it is. Here, listen to this.
November, why aren't you on the phone with the White House asking the president to come endorse you and campaign with you in his hometown, New York City?
I welcome the presidential endorsement. He first saved Eric Adams from going to jail. The guy was the most crooked mayor in the history of New York City. That's the other guy who put us into this mess. If Eric Adams had been a halfway decent mayor, it would have been round two like in 2021. The incumbent Democrat Eric Adams versus Curtis Sliwa. So Adams and Cuomo got us into this mess, and you want me to jump onto a parachute?
No, I'm not asking you to jump out. But I'm not asking you to jump out. But you sound like a defeated man already, and it's not even election day. Curtis, 2021.
What do you mean I'm defeated?
Let me just say this.
20 hours a day of a 24-hour a day.
I'm not disputing that you're out there every day.
Your candidate, Cuomo, has been off the campaign trail for 10 days, according to the New York Post. Don't say I'm a defeated candidate, because I'm fighting for Republican principles, law and order principles, quality of life principles. Maybe you like living in a city where they lock up toothpaste and don't lock up criminals, but that's because of Andrew Cuomo and Zoran Mandami.
I do not.
I am the one that can recover this city like Rudy Giuliani did in 1993. Why is Rudy Giuliani supporting me? Why is Governor Pataki supporting me? Because they know the answer is Sliwa for mayor, Republican, 2025, Elise Stefanik for governor to take out Hochul 2026, and we get New York State, New York City back on track. What's wrong with you people? You want to become Democrats? Go ahead. You'll be run by socialists.
We're going to be run by socialists. And don't for a second assume that I want Andrew Cuomo to win this race. But in 2021, you had the two-man race. You only got 27% of the vote head-to-head against Eric Adams, and the numbers look even worse this time around. So I'm wondering if you know something that I don't know. Besides this grassroots, you're going to take care of animals. I think that's terrific. But do you have internal polling that suggests anything outside of what Polymarket says, and they give you less than 1% chance at winning next Tuesday?
Oh, here we go, gambling. You know, you're really reaching. The polls said that Andrew Cuomo was 40% ahead of Zoran Mandami at 1% on March 1st of 2025. 3.5 months later, Andrew Cuomo, who was waiting for a coronation, lost by 13%. You keep looking at the polls. I'll look to the people. I'll keep working the streets and subways 20 hours of a 24-hour day. And guess what? We're going to let the people decide. One person, one vote.
You know, I got to tell you, I love Rob Finnerty. And I appreciate his line of questioning. I really do. And he's not asking Sliwa to drop out. He's confronting Sliwa with, you know, these polls and whatnot. And I hate to say it, but there are sometimes the polls are very wrong and sometimes the polls are right. But I am not discouraging Curtis Sliwa from running. I say he stays in. And if I lived in New York, since everybody's saying that Mondami's going to win anyway, I'd say, you know what? Burn, baby, burn. I'm voting for Sliwa. You know, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Is it standing on principle to the point of whatever? He's supposedly going to win anyway. Mondami's going to win anyway, right? Is that what they're saying? I'm hoping it doesn't, but honestly, Cuomo is a crap sandwich. And actually, Cuomo and Mondami are a crap sandwich. You've got the crap, that's Mondami, and you got the crap-stained bread, and that's Cuomo. That's what you got. So congratulations, New York. You had a crap sandwich to choose from, and then you got another guy over here on the Republican side. New York can't find a young, savvy, intelligent man who's from New York to run for mayor, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? Can we not find a J.D. Vance in friggin' New York? Why can't they find somebody like that? And listen, I love Curtis Sliwa. He's been around. He's taken bullets for the people of New York. There's nobody who sacrificed more for the love of New York and his people than Curtis Sliwa. But unfortunately, you've got a bunch of dipwads who live in that damn city who are voting for idiots like the other two. That's the sad thing about it. Am I hopeful there's a miracle in New York? Yes, I am. Am I hopeful about New Jersey? Oh, yes, I'm very hopeful. Am I hopeful about Virginia? Oh, God, yes, I'm hopeful about governor, lieutenant governor, and AG. I am. But New York, you know, honestly, maybe New York's just going to have to, you're going to have to suffer. Maybe they're going to have to go through. Maybe they're going to have to experience how bad things can get. But at the same time, you got to realize this man is a danger. Zoran Mandami is not just a socialist. He is a radical Islamist. That's the most dangerous thing. And that's where, if he gets elected, that ain't even going to be, not even going to be part of the equation, the socialism. Because all of these he's promising are not going to happen. He's not going to be able to pay for it. The other stuff's the dangerous stuff. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Buy gold and get free silver. That's right, for every...
71%, that's what Kimmel's lost since they put him back on the air. The morons at ABC were too blind to see that about Kimmel no one cares. 85% in a key demo. That is what Kimmel lost. Why they keep him around to keep losing ground? Still air him no matter what the cost. Sinclair must feel real stupid now. Next star still with regret. 71% wonder where they went. On Kimmel's failure you can bet.
Disney stock was $197 a share in March of 2021. Now it's $122 a share.
Disney must be in panic mode. They'd pull this show if they could. Why did they bring him back? This a funny hack. Suspension should have been for good.
Letitia James is gonna be in trouble. The FBI is looking at her loan. They just launched a new investigation. The name Letitia gave was not her own. I hope they nail her, jail her, send her to the slammer. She should be fired, retired for all the laws she broke. Letitia James is through, you know it's true. I'll be excited when she's indicted. Letitia's gonna get handcuffed and I think I like it. I'll be delighted when she's indicted. I know that she's guilty. Letitia's going down. She'll be run out of town.
The FBI says Democrats got ballots from China. The CCP are dirty rats, sending ballots from China. Fake driver's licenses the Chinese supply to cheat in 2020 can't be denied. Cash Patel produced the proof. China helped steal it. He's about to raise the roof. I can't just feel it. Democrats, they are nervous, and they ought to be. If you got ballots from China, should not go free.
The polls said that Andrew Cuomo was 40% ahead of Moron Mon-commie at 1% on March 1st of 2025. 3.5 months later, Andrew Cuomo, who was waiting for a coronation, lost by 13%. You keep looking at the polls. I'll look to the people. I'll keep working the streets and subways 20 hours of a 24-hour day. And guess what? We're going to let the people decide. One person, one vote. Not the billionaires, not the insiders, not the influencers. How novel to let the people vote and determine who their mayor is. Let Cuomo get his vote out. Let Zoran get his vote out. I'll get my vote out, and we'll let the people decide by the night of November 4th.
Okay, Carson, I hope you have a historic night next Tuesday. I truly do. Yeah. But let's say Zoran Mon-commie, this Marxist Muslim radical, let's say he is the next mayor of this city, and that's your legacy. Then what, Curtis?
Is that his legacy?
Well, guess what? Andrew Cuomo, the one that you're flirting with,
Not
he said
Andrew
he would
Cuomo,
leave.
Curtis Sliwa. Not
I'm
Andrew
sorry.
Cuomo. I'm asking
Cuomo.
Curtis Sliwa.
You're flirting with Cuomo. He said he would leave New York City and flee to Florida. I fight for what I know is right. Improve, don't move. If I happen to lose to Moron Mon-commie, I become his worst nightmare. I pitch my Republican flag and my Republican law and order values, and I fight, fight, fight. That's what Republicans do. They don't surrender, they don't retreat, and they don't drop out. When do Republicans drop out? Do you remember when DeSantis was being touted as the next presidential nominee? The New York Post had a front page headline, Donald, drop out. Did Donald Trump drop out? No. Donald Trump went on to become president again.
There you go. That is Curtis Sliwa and Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. That was something else, man. I've never seen Curtis that worked up before. I don't blame Curtis Sliwa for staying in the race. No. Not one little bit. He's the only Republican in the race. You're going to drop out as the Republican, just drop out, just forget Republicans exist altogether. Honestly, it is such a complicated situation, and I actually know some people in New York politics. Nan Hayworth, one of them, and I said what Sliwa needed to do about 6 months ago was assemble a cabinet. Katsamides, the guy who owns all the grocery stores and WABC Radio, he should be on as a financial advisor or whatever, whatever. And he should have established a cabinet of the most powerful conservatives in the state as his cabinet. This is going to be in charge of this. This person is going to be in charge of this. That's would have added to his credibility. But nobody listened to Rob Carson. So no, I would say nobody does. But no, I've got a hell of a lot of listeners actually. I got a hell of a lot of listeners all over the country. My God, it's crazy. It's crazy how many people are listening to this show. It's just crazy. But anyway, I don't know. I'm hoping in Virginia that we have a Republican sweep of the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the AG. I really, really do, because Virginia does not need to become Maryland. Maryland is the worst performing state in the country with regard to economic activity. 2 million people have left Maryland. Maryland sucks. It's terrible. I used to love Maryland. I lived in Maryland. It is such a beautiful state. It is such a beautiful state. And the Democrat Party has just made it into a hellhole. It is the worst. I had a soundbite from Chitterelli. Yeah, here is Chitterelli. He was talking last night what he's going to do as the governor of the state of New Jersey.
To provide for law and order here in New Jersey. Executive order number 1 on day 1. No town in this state will be a sanctuary city and will not be a sanctuary state.
Boom. Boom.
I said from the very beginning, that policy, here's the good news. Many of the things that Murphy has done are by executive order. They weren't codified by the legislature, which means I can reverse them on day 1. But having sanctuary cities and us being a sanctuary state encourages illegal immigration, and it handcuffs our local police in certain ways. We're not doing that. I'm going to reverse that on day 1. If a local police chief and mayor want to work together to preserve safety in your community by partnering with a federal agency, I'm not going to get in the way.
Yeah. The Democrat Party, the reason why they're caterwauling, the reason why they're protecting illegals, the reason why they're blocking ICE and all of this is because they know that if Democrat-run cities are turned to Republican, they will lose the states. They will lose the states. New York is an agrarian state. New Jersey is an agrarian state. But it is run by the population epicenters, which are rigged to be Democrat. They are rigged to be Democrat. They are. They just are. They keep people impoverished. They keep people aggrieved and dependent. That's what Democrats do. That's what they're so afraid of. And now they want to keep illegals in there because so many Democrats are leaving, particularly black people. They're saying, you know what, we're done with this. And once the sun shines in down that wall falls down between the Democrat Party and those people, then the states go to the Republican Party and life gets a whole lot better. Gordon Chang joins us next to talk about Trump's Asia visit and the China trade deal. On the way, don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Newsmax, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code Newsmax at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word Newsmax for up to 40% off. That'll Rage Against the Machine on a Friday as we go to the Newsmax Hotline to one of my favorite guests who I consider a friend as well. The one, the only, Gordon Chang at Gordon G. Chang on Twitter. And I've been dying to talk to you about all of the Asia trip that Donald Trump did and, of course, the meeting with President Xi. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you today?
I'm so fine, Robin. Thank you so much.
Oh, my God. You know what? While these Democrats keep SNAP benefits from people and make sure that government employees are not paid, they were caterwauling about Trump, gallivanting around the world. But he did what he did with North Korea, and South Korea, what he did with Japan, what he did with China was epic and historic. Would you classify it in that fashion?
Well, certainly epic and historic. Now, the stopovers in Malaysia and Japan were great triumphs for American diplomacy. No question about it. What President Trump did was to solidify our relationship with critical allies, but also showed the flag and also showed the world that even in China's backyard, it's the United States that determines outcomes. For instance, President Trump presided over the signing of the enhanced ceasefire between Thailand and Cambodia.
Unbelievable.
This has occurred just near China's borders, and Beijing had no hand in stopping that 5-day war in July.
Wow.
It was Trump threatening tariffs, got the initial ceasefire, and it was Trump presiding over the relationship that got the enhanced ceasefire deal signed on Sunday.
Well, this is exactly what he did with Pakistan and India.
Yes, he was able to. He had a large hand in stopping that war as well. That was the war in May. So Trump is, along China's periphery, has been showing everybody that it is the United States that can fix problems. China can't.
I got to tell you, I was so impressed with the new leader of Japan, first female prime minister or premier of Japan. She's a rock star. Donald Trump, he has opened up Japan. They're buying Ford F-150s. Toyota's going to do a $13 billion investment building vehicles in America. I sold Toyotas, Gordon. That's a big deal. They're great cars, and they are. A lot of people they're like, I won't buy a Toyota because it's not American. Yeah, they are. They make them in Kentucky. They make them in Ohio. They make them in Texas. And Toyota's a big employer in the United States, and this is just making it go nuclear.
Yeah. Well, actually, Lee and I bought a Toyota, but we made sure that it was one that was made in the United States.
In the U.S.
And in fact, it was made in California at the joint venture plant between Toyota and General Motors.
Which one was it? Which one was it, by the way? Because I know Toyotas. Which one was it? What?
It was a Corolla, and it was, my gosh, it was just so long ago. I know.
But Toyotas last forever, brother. I traded a 900,000-mile Tundra.
Unbelievable. We got our car to 299,000 miles.
I know, dude. You drive till the wheels come off. But it's amazing. It is remarkable. And it is so neat to see this partnership. Joe Biden slighted so many people around the world. And Donald Trump is just... Gordon, I've never seen anything like it. This man, there's never been an American president greeted like this universally with love and respect. And the Democrat Party only caterwauls and spins itself into hell. It is remarkable. When they play YMCA when he shows up and everyone dances, the joy and the patriotism and just the goodwill that he is bringing around the world is remarkable.
It certainly is. On Sunday when he arrived in Malaysia, you saw Trump dancing, his signature dance. And you could never see Joe Biden or Xi Jinping do that. Because when Xi Jinping appears in public, it's always scripted.
Yes.
And even in the events that are supposedly unscripted with the public, they are heavily worked out in advance.
Yeah.
So, Trump is unfiltered, and people love it.
Yeah.
People love it.
It is. Now, let's talk about China. And, when I hear something like 24 million metric tons of soybeans, that is so, it's unimaginable what this is going to do for America's farmers. I grew up in Iowa. I lived in Kansas City for 10 years most recently. It is what he has done for American farmers, and this is just part of the deal, was amazing to watch.
Yeah, And certainly having China not buy a single soybean until a week ago, I mean, that showed you how politically driven China's decisions are and how they're willing to violate their trade agreements to get leverage over other parties, which shows you how dangerous China is as a trading partner.
Yeah. Now, we still have some pretty hefty tariffs on Chinese goods. When you look at the overall picture, and I've not had a chance to digest the entire trade package with China, who do you suppose, a lot of people on the left, of course, are saying, well, Donald Trump really got it, put over a barrel by China. No, not at all. Why don't you kind of break it down for us, since you have a much better knowledge of the subject?
Well, a lot of people have scored the trade deal, and I think that essentially there's a lot there which we don't know, so we won't be able to give any definitive assessment for some time. But there's one thing that's really important, which is in the U.S. favor, and that is there's a trade truce right now for 1 year. And during that 1 year, we know that President Trump is making sure that we are less dependent on China when we come out of this. We had those rare earth deals with Australia, Japan, Malaysia, and Thailand. And the Chinese, from a year from now, are going to be more dependent on us. And we know that because they've just doubled down on their industrial policy of trying to increase the number of factories and factory output. That means they're going to have to sell more to the world. That means they become much more dependent on the U.S. market because we account for 34% of global consumer spending. So at the end of this truce, we're going to be in a far stronger position than China, and that's so clear right now. And that's because of the structure of what President Trump has been doing.
As far as the Chinese people are concerned, obviously there are some regions of China where the per capita income is pennies on the dollar versus the United States of America. Do you suppose that this trade deal is going to help the average people of China? And maybe make the tax base for the government stronger?
Well, it's certainly going to help China, and that means some of it will trickle down to factory workers. So, that is clear because they will be selling more to the United States. And we will, of course, be selling more. Our farmers will be helped, and other segments of the U.S. economy will be benefited by the trade deal.
Well, I'm just excited about it. I think it's amazing to watch, and we've never seen a president project so much power, so much liberty, I think, to the world, and I think we are living in historic times, Gordon Chang. We really, really are. This is remarkable to watch.
Yes, it certainly is. Trump is remaking the world. I mean, that's clear. Whether we're talking about Asia or the Middle East or our own hemisphere. Trump is changing things so fast. The changes are going to be like during the Reagan era, but Reagan era took a lot longer. Trump is doing this immediately. Trump speed.
I know, it's amazing. Gordon Chang, I appreciate you so much. You expecting trick-or-treaters tonight, my friend?
They don't really come around to where we live because they mostly go to parties. They don't go trick-or-treating as they once did.
Gotcha. They do that trunk-or-treat. I hate that stuff. I like going door-to-door. Gordon Chang, I appreciate you so much. Gordon G. Chang on Twitter. God bless you, brother. Have a glorious weekend.
You too, Rob. Take care.
You bet. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
CBM.
Hey, it's the Rob Carson Show. A little bit later on the show, Jon Stewart did an interview with Kamala Harris and was dumbfounded when she said that she thought he was mentally able to be the president. And, of course, being Jon Stewart, he's a big P word. He didn't say, well, yeah, of course he was, had pudding for brains. It was very obvious he had pudding for brains. But, of course, he didn't do that because, he's just a guy who's probably on the last year of his contract, and Comedy Central is near death. So there you go. But anyway, we got that. And then also, she got called out by an Australian reporter who was always glorious. This woman called her out, said, you dodged a question. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that on the show. It's good stuff. We've got a whole bag of treats on Halloween is what we have here. So, yeah. Anyway. Wall Street Journal op-ed acknowledges transgender identity appears to be social contagion. Let's see. Who said that as soon as it started? Oh, yeah, me right here. I did, yeah. Years ago I said this, and if you follow this show, I said it was social contagion from the very beginning. You know what was the original social contagion? The original social contagion that was driven by young women? The Salem witch hunts. Yeah. Same mania, same kind of modus operandi as this stuff. The same group of people who generally are afflicted by it, mostly teenage girls who are susceptible to it. And that's largely who it was, the victims of it, by the way. And then, of course, the perpetrators on it were Karens. They were liberal Karens. They are the middle-aged to elderly old Karens who are busybodies in the neighborhood. Gladys Kravitz was the original Karen from Bewitched. Karens have been around forever. Karens have flexed their political power, and Karens are going down. As evidence flows in, it becomes more and more apparent that transgender identity is more like a social contagion or a cultural fad than anything rooted in real science and biology. Defenders of the radical trans ideology have long insisted that the vast majority of transgender people are born that way. By the way, I'm just going to say, if you were down with any of this, you should be ashamed of this for the rest of your bloody stinking lives. You are a dupe. You are a buffoon. If you fell for it, you should have known better. All you have to do is look at things from 30,000 feet and realize, are you kidding me? Children suddenly deciding they're transgender. Are you out of your freaking mind? But anyway, the very small number of people who have the condition called gender dysphoria, describing gender dysphoria as a significant and persistent marked incongruence between an individual's experience or expressed gender and their assigned sex at birth. Others believe mental health professionals should help these individuals navigate the world as their intended sex, much like mental health professionals handle other psychiatric conditions. Because if you think you're the opposite sex, there's something wrong with your brain. Okay? And it's okay. I got a little thing wrong with my brain. I used to take a little bit of an antidepressant, but guess what? I got a job and I stopped drinking. And all of a sudden it went away. Whoa, it's crazy. Recent Wall Street Journal, here's what they say. The mounting evidence supports the hypothesis that the vast majority of transgender cases are more likely attributed to social factors. Pay attention. If transgender identity were an innate trait, like left-handedness, we would expect identification rates to rise at first when it became socially acceptable, then plateau and remain stable at fixed level, according to this article. If the phenomenon were indeed driven by social contagion, we might expect a boom and bust pattern, a spike, followed by a rapid decline once the social forces driving it weaken. As analysis of campus surveys by Eric Kaufman, the University of Buckingham, and the Center for Heterodoxical Social Science found, the share of college students identifying as transgender fell 50% between 2023 and 2025. The Democrat Party took advantage of children who were alienated from one another during COVID, especially young women who are already very, very self-conscious about their bodies and certainly are self-conscious about them when they go through puberty. Psychologist Jean Twang's analysis of the annual cooperative election study administered by YouGov found that transgender identification among 18 to 22-year-olds declined by 50% between 2022 and 2024. She concluded that it looks like the peak of trans identification is in the past. A recent study out of England showed the incident rates of recorded gender dysphoria incongruence increased from blah, 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 3,000% increase. I'll just put it that way. came on the heels of a German study that showed for most young people that gender identity-related psychosis does not persist after 5 years. What happens if you've had your penis removed? What happens if you've had a hysterectomy? What happens if you've been on puberty blockers and had your voice changed? What happens if you had your breasts removed? And an adult said, okay. Are you kidding me? I'm going to play you some Karens. I'm going to play you some people here that should be marched through these children's hospitals who did this. And by the way, there are children's hospitals that did this, including Children's National Medical Center, who I used to do radiothons raising money for them, and they did this nonsense.
And we're going to use fascist talking points. Be ready to be called a fascist.
You are the Fourth Reich, and we are the resistance.
Karen.
And one more time, when my trans family is under attack, I'm going to stand up, fight back. Get ready.
This blatantly ignores science.
I'm queer, I'm the mom of a trans kid, and I'm an elementary school teacher. I would like to point out that by eliminating a minor's preferred pronouns is racist and Christian-centric.
Using pronouns is proven to save lives. Intersex infants often have cosmetic surgeries done to their bodies to conform them to a binary male or female gender.
It is these anti-LGBT bills that are and their deranged followers who are causing the need for LGBT students to need extensive mental health care.
Why are you taking away the First Amendment right to free speech for specific target communities?
This is fascist, I'm sorry.
But let's not act like anyone.
Those who are made to believe absurdities will commit atrocities. That's what I said starting about 5 years ago about this. Those who are made to believe absurdities will commit atrocities. Those who are made to believe that a boy can become a girl and a girl can become a boy will commit an atrocity of putting them on puberty blockers or mutilating them so they walk around as mutilated eunuchs the rest of their lives. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I've got a little bit more on this, and I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do but be serious about this. There is nothing that I can be, there's nothing to laugh about that this has been exposed like this, and it was obvious all along. And the people who perpetrated this nonsense on the rest of us, you should be ashamed. You're going to pay for it in this life and then afterwards, unless you repent for what you've done and you admit that you were wrong. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Sorry, I got to tell you, I had friends whose daughter went through it, and they didn't let her do the puberty blockers and everything. And finally, after about 2 years of this cross-dressing, change your name, the whole deal, she said, "Dad, I can't become a boy, can I?" And he said, "No, honey, you can't. How about love yourself, love for who you are?" Listen, I have struggled in my life with my image, my weight. I had a very hard time eating for a very long time. I'm just going to leave it at that. But starting in high school, I tired of being bullied. So one summer, I just stopped eating. And I ate Air Pop popcorn and Diet Coke, and I nearly died because I was tired of being bullied. Because I was bullied from first grade through my freshman year of high school, and then I just stopped eating one summer. I lost 76 pounds in 3 months. And then I struggled with eating for a while. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to go through what these kids are going through. I wish somebody would have been able to understand what I was going through. But the people, the adults who did this to these kids, especially doctors and counselors and anestheticians and people who treat kids with hormones. The medical profession should be, the people who did this need to be held accountable for it. They need to be held accountable for this. It is a tragedy. It's what Joseph Mengele did to twins. It's what Joseph Mengele did to twins. He did it. Yeah.
You can have 3 minutes here.
To this point, non-binary identity is plummeting since its peak in 2023, while activists have argued, even in court, that transgenderism is an immutable human characteristic. No significant scientific data backs them up. Studies of neuroautonomy, heritability, and prenatal hormone exposure that claim a biological basis for gender identity are replete with small and selective samples, poor replication, and uncontrolled confounding factors such as sexual orientation and cross-sex hormone treatment. It was a ruse. It was all a ruse. They cannot explain how transgenderism suddenly spiked in 2,000% in the United States in the last 15 years. Anyone who dared to question the science were labeled transphobes or bigots without facts on their side. They had to resort to ad hominem attacks, but those who rejected their flawed premise never did so to be hateful. The social contagion hypothesis was never hateful. It was purely descriptive, a recognition that the social and cultural factors shape human behavior. For years, even hint that such factors influence transgender identities could end a career. Now, as data accumulates, this is becoming harder for anyone to deny. The people who bought into it generally follow the money is a good rule for thumb when it comes to figuring out motives for a large, sudden change in social behavior. Unfortunately, treating young people who are struggling with their identity with talk therapy or similar interventions doesn't pay nearly as well as more drastic interventions like surgery and lifelong medication. Joseph Mengele did this to twins. Joseph Mengele did that to twins. You fell into it, you morons. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. I'm just sad about it. I'm sad that I was called a bigot. I'm sad that I was called a homophobe by people who lived in my home. And I'm just stating the obvious, and just the reaction that I got. The reaction I got was so profoundly negative and just... And I will never get an apology. I will never get an apology. I can't forgive unless I get an apology. If you fell for this, and if you're a counselor, if you're a doctor, you should give up your practice. If you did a transgender hormone treatment or surgery on a child, you need to be stricken from having a medical license. I swear to God, ridiculous that you fell for this. All right, last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. We've got more comedy from Jim Gossett. We've got Jon Stewart and Kamala Harris. You're going to lose some IQ points, but it's enjoyable. Don't go anywhere. right now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
By the grace of God, it is finally Friday, and it's Halloween, baby. Woo! Halloween. I'm not living in a cul-de-sac anymore with lots of kids, but I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have some fun on Halloween. I'm gonna do some cooking this weekend. I'm gonna be doing some. Well, it's not home improvement. I'm gonna be doing studio improvement. Yeah, I got a broadcast studio here in Old Town Alexandria, and I got some surprises coming. It's going to look all sorts of cool. Yeah, it's going to look all sorts of cool. So anyway, Friday, and I also just contacted a food bank locally, affiliated with a Catholic organization. I'm not saying you need to go to a Catholic organization, but I asked if they needed some help, and they said, yeah. So I'm going to go grocery shopping at one point, fill up a cart, and take it over to. I'm not buying groceries for 4 people anymore. It's kind of weird. It's crazy. You know, it's really weird when you go from doing literally 2 to 3 loads of dishes in a dishwasher every day to 1 every 3 days, and from 15 loads of laundry a week to 1. I do 1 load of laundry a week. That's what I do. Because, basically, I just wear T-shirts. I wear shirts. And the shirts that the button-up shirts, I take to the cleaner and have them cleaned and pressed. And that happens like once every week when I do the TV show, right? But so, I'm literally, it's like, underwear, socks, T-shirts. I leave the lid of the washer open and just throw whatever I take off right in there. And then when it gets to the point where it's getting full, I just throw some laundry in there. It's so funny, man. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird to be, like a single guy again. It's just bizarre. I'm trying to decide whether I like it or not. There are a lot of things to like about it. There are a lot of things to like about it. There are a lot of things to not like about it. I miss my kids and I miss my dogs. I really do. I miss my dogs a hell of a lot. So, and I can't have a dog because, if you got to have a dog, you got to be with that dog. You got to spend a lot of time with that dog. So, anyway, that's my sad life. The end. See ya. Let's talk about, oh dear Lord, what do we want to talk about here? I want to talk about real quick Arctic frost because Jack Smith spied on over 400 Republicans. This isn't Watergate. This is Soviet crap, man. This is unbelievable. Arctic frost whistleblower documents confirm a seditious conspiracy of unimaginable proportions. This is according to Pamela Geller, by the way. She's fantastic. They suggest a breathtaking expansion of federal power and operation so sweeping it blurred every line between oversight and intrusion. Trump is demanding prison for Jack Smith. I hope this son of a bee goes to prison for life or worse, or worse, or worse. Yeah. Also, Alejandro Mayorkas, or worse for you. Or worse for you. And they should broadcast it live. What you did to the American people. The new Arctic frost whistleblower documents show the corrupt Biden FBI subpoenaed bank records, donor lists, emails of every major conservative organization and leader in the country, including Donald Trump's campaign, the RNC, Conservative Partnership Institute, Save America PAC, America First Policy Institute, even MyPillow. They nearly destroyed MyPillow. They really did. We should have Watergate-style hearings on this for months. People must be held accountable. Resignations, firings. Otherwise, this will happen again, according to Eric Schmidt, senator from Missouri. Jack Smith targeted 400 Republicans, issued 197 subpoenas. A subpoena to Apple seeking records for any member or of the legislative or employee of the legislative branch. Records related to Dan Scavino, Stephen Miller, Jared Kushner, Laura Trump. Records related to communications with CBS, Fox News, Fox Business, Newsmax. Chris Ruddy, sue their asses off. Chris, sue the DOJ for $200 million. Will you do that? Will you sue their butts off completely? Because I've watched them go after Newsmax. I've watched them eat Newsmax alive. I know what it's like for the people at Newsmax with the bullcrap they've been through. And you know what? They've gotten bigger and better. Subpoenas seeking substantial statistical data and analytics related to Republican donors. They wanted to kill the MAGA movement, like they did the Tea Party movement, but worse, they wanted to put people in jail. 197 subpoenas issued by Jack Smith and his team. These subpoenas were issued to 34 individuals, 163 businesses and financial institutions. Chuck Grassley made public this as part of the indiscriminate election case against Donald Trump. The Republican senator's office said on Wednesday Smith's case began at the FBI, led by the time by Christopher Wray. Again, life in prison or worse. I'd lean into the or worse. Under the code name Arctic Frost. The records released by Grassley provide even more insights into the sweeping investigation aimed at Trump World, which was launched by the FBI and later picked up by Smith under then Attorney General Merrick Garland, or worse. 45 individuals, including Steve Bannon, Representative Scott Perry, Rudy Giuliani. He was ruined financially. Jeffrey Clark, John Eastman, Mark Meadows. The GOP committee argued that another 111 individuals, including Peter Navarro, who went to jail for nothing, like Steve Bannon, he was part of it too. Former Trump DOJ official Jeff Rosen, current DOJ weaponization czar Ed Martin also were under investigation by these Stasi. The Jordan-led committee on Tuesday released letters from December 22 from the leaders of the January 6 Select Congressional Committee, headed up by Benny Thompson, who should go to jail, and Liz Cheney, who should go to jail. They want to make evidence we have gathered available to the Justice Department. Cheney went on to endorse Kamala Harris. New evidence shows that Ray Garland and then Deputy Attorney Lisa Monaco signed off on the launch of the Arctic Frost inquiry into Trump related to the Capitol riot, which wasn't a riot. It was a Reichstag moment. But you couldn't say that a couple years ago because they called it disinformation, disinformatia. These revelations are also putting the spotlight on former FBI agent Timothy Thibault, whom Republicans argued showed extreme anti-Trump bias demonstrated by a willingness to target Trump early in his first term. You sons of bees, you stinking rotten sons of bees. What you did to us, what you did, oh my goodness. Here is Jon Solomon, the brilliant Jon Solomon, who has risen above this like a phoenix from the ashes, become one of the greatest journalists in journalism history. He really has. Here is Jon Solomon talking about it.
If you thought what happened on January 6th with the electors was bad, you could have done it on the 7th or the 8th or 9th of 2021. They wait a whole year until Donald Trump raises his hand and says, I'm getting back in the arena. I'm running for 2024. And they open up an electronic communication that every expert I talk to says is thin, doesn't meet the rules. Then they try to say the crime is by some people offering alternate electors to the Senate. That is a criminal conspiracy.
Yeah.
Now,
listen.
If you're going to do that, the FBI has an obligation to go back and look at how alternate electors were done in the past.
And they have been.
They don't do that. They ignore the fact that in 1876 and in 1960...
Yeah, they were done. And who did it?
Alternate electors were submitted to the Senate twice.
Yeah.
Nobody got prosecuted.
Sure.
Nobody thought it was a crime back then. Oh, by the way, in both of those cases, it was Democrat candidates who were doing it. So they ignore the precedent, and they just simply open up, and then they just go fishing. I call this a MAGA dragnet.
That's what Letitia James did. She even campaigned on it like a good Stalinist. Show me the man, and I will show you the crime. I will find something.
Plus, Republicans and their groups are targeted. 8 senators, 1 House members. They're getting millions and millions of lines of phone data, geolocation data.
They took bank records. Bank America turned over bank records for people who just went from Boston to Washington, D.C. on January the 6th.
Looking at anything and everything they can, trying to...
They went after people who spent money at Bass Pro and Cabela's and looked for words like Trump, MAGA, stuff like that.
Find a
Bible
crime that they can hang on someone that is close to Donald Trump. That's not what law enforcement's done. That's not what the Fourth Amendment says we should be doing with our law enforcement. I think when you saw the Jim Jordan interview I did last night, he is furious. He said, listen, if Jack Smith doesn't come voluntarily, he's getting subpoenaed. And by the way, I'm not settling for another renewal of FISA. We are changing FISA. We're changing the spy rules. You can see people are worked up. This may be a moment where we get some real civil liberties reforms and some real accountability. Now, here's the news I want to give you.
There has to be accountability.
I just got off of the phone with some senior law enforcement officials.
Yes.
The FBI is internally now investigating some of its own personnel for their conduct in Arctic Frost, meaning they're looking at the possibility their own agents engaged in criminality by opening up this investigation.
Of course they did.
Or conducting or doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Things in the investigation. The entire unit that ran this has been dismantled. Every agent that played a role in this has been fired. This is unlike the FBI of the past, which would just sweep things under the rug and say, nothing to look here.
Nope.
There is accountability internally going on. And if the FBI refers people for prosecution, Pam Bondi will be able to do to maybe people who committed crimes here what she's now done for James Comey.
Newsmax should carry the hearings live. And then Chris Ruddy should sue them for $200 million on behalf of Newsmax and others, by the way. There should be a massive civil case against the United States Department of Justice and the FBI by us. Maybe I'll do it. Hell, I don't know how to do it. Maybe I should. Thoroughly disgusting that it happened in our country. Here's Lindsey Graham, because this is what they did. And it was obvious. I was saying it as those 4 indictments came down, those 4 political indictments waited to the election year. It was very obvious.
Was there a coordination between Jack Smith, Fannie Willis, Alvin Bragg?
Of course there was.
Letitia James?
Yep.
Did they talk?
They all went to the White House.
Did they share information?
They all went to the White House.
Is it just an accident that all this happened within days of Trump announcing, and within 8 or 9 months, the Republican candidate, one of the candidates for president, had 91 felony charges in the deepest blue districts in the friggin' country?
This exposed the rot. And I never thought the FBI, I always thought they were the good guys, right? Didn't you? You seen the movies? There was a TV show, Quentin Martin production, the FBI, and there was the Untouchables and all that. And you thought, man, they were some of the filthiest, rotten sons of bees. They raided Mar-a-Lago. And when they raided Mar-a-Lago, I went, oh boy, this is it, man. This is Soviet Union stuff here. And I was right, 100%. The FBI, the court system, we always thought the court system is filthy, rotten, political. I wonder how many people are in jail for politics. I really do. It is. We discovered we were the Soviet Union. We were the Soviet Union. And when they told us that our opinions were disinformation, I went, oh yeah, we have become the Soviet Union. And these people need to be held accountable. Life in prison or worse. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
People say it's a major eyesore, but you can bet I won't forget who my library's for. It's all about me. It's all about me. My massive ego makes me who I am. Folks are afraid that they'll be displaced, afraid the places they live will soon be erased. It's all about me. It's all about me. A self-absorbed man, I'm my own biggest fan. It's all about me. It's all about me.
How do you solve a problem like Antifa? A terrorist group, that is what they are. I'm gonna solve this problem called Antifa. They have gone too far. The Democrats, they support Antifa. Their reign of terror they try to deny. Claim that Soros doesn't fund Antifa, but that's a big fat lie. We are coming after you, Antifa. In towns like Portland where you terrorize, National Guard will help to fight Antifa. They'll cut it down to size. How do you solve a problem like Antifa? They are a hate group in most people's eyes.
Danger to New York, Mom Donnie's trouble, taxes under him are bound to double. He'll destroy New York before his term is through. Private ownership, he wants to end it, every cent you earn. He wants to spend it. Government-run stores is something he'll pursue. Danger to New York. That is Mom Donnie. He's a danger to New York. And from the moment that they put this clown in charge, the damage will be large. You can kiss New York away if he wins on election day. Hope folks will wake up, make a deduction. Voting for Saran will cause destruction. He is such a dork. This danger to New York.
Legislation to secure the border, but it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah, baby. 100%. You know, it's an amazing what can happen when you just do something. But Donald Trump is doing more than something. He's doing things right. He's doing things beautifully around the world. And the Democrat Party is just doing a death spiral into hell. And then, making you suffer, too, by the way. You guys are going to be losing your SNAP benefits, so you guys are working for the government and not being paid. That is 100% on the shoulders of the Democrat Party. Make no bones about it. Because how do I know this? Because Donald Trump is doing good for the country. He has brought $18 trillion in new manufacturing in the United States. He lowered drug prices, 85% on some drugs. He's IVF price coming down. He's not just making crap up like Joe Biden did. Joe Biden said he's going to cure cancer. Where the hell's the cancer cure, George? Or Joe? Where the hell is the cancer cure? You promised you were going to cure cancer. He did. He promised he was going to cure cancer. How's that working? Gayle King is expected to depart CBS News in a bombshell move amid Barry Weiss's takeover. Gayle King I wonder if they'll have a No Kings protest. She's been fired. Worth it. I think it was worth it. I waited on that line. I think it was worth it. Gayle King expected to be the next major departure at CBS. They're also getting rid of there was apparently this race and culture unit founded in 2020, been tasked with ensuring all stories have the proper context, tone, and intention before publishing, according to CBS parent company Paramount. They got rid of that too. So there you go. They're getting a little what for. This is what happens when you abuse the privilege. You had the privilege of the First Amendment. You had the gift of the First Amendment. And you, ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, NPR, MSNBC, CNN, all of you are suffering because you bedded down with the Soviets. There you go. Too bad, so sad. Sucks to be you, don't it? Oh, real quick. You lucked out. Due to overwhelming demand for free silver from Birch Gold, they've extended the current promotion through Veterans Day. You buy gold, you get free silver. Happens to be surging in price. I got one coin right here. If you were streaming it right now, you could see it. This glorious silver round is 1 ounce. It's a troy ounce. I don't know who Troy is, but he's probably not a very big man. But anyway, 1 troy ounce of silver here. It's got the Gadsden and American flags on it. And gold is up 60% this year. What's your IRA or 401k? Mine's flat as a pancake. That's why I sent it to Birch Gold and I said, make magic, baby. Let's make a little magic before the night is through. There you go. And now it's in gold, and it's gone up. Thank you very much. Now, if you buy $5,000 in gold purchase from Birch Gold, it's an investment. You get a free silver round, 1 troy ounce. It's beautiful. I keep it in a velvet pouch in my pocket. Thank you very much. And then, of course, also, you're going to get lots of information from Birch Gold. And if you're a veteran, by the way, or a current military, they're going to waive custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. All right, so text my name, Rob, to 989898 for a free gold info kit. Claim your eligibility for free silver with a purchase before November the 11th. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. Okay, Kamala Harris talked to Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is, Jon Stewart. Anyway, he was dumbfounded to know that Kamala Harris would deny Joe Biden had any cognitive issues.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Oh.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do.
This is where you say, John, oh my God, are you out of your nut? We made fun of this because I'm a comedian. We made fun of the fact that the president has dementia.
But there's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace.
He didn't at all hit the campaign trail, you dupe.
Tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's more than a notion.
Get involved in public.
Oh, okay, so running for office was really hard, but he could be a complete moron as the president, you see. Here's a little bit of the debate. Remember this? That showed everybody he had dementia?
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person.
Oh, I'm sorry. Allegedly?
Eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have.
Yeah, honestly, I have no... Jon Stewart, you're such a moron. Dear God. Here is Kamala being called out by an Australian anchor. This is fantastic, by the way. Listen to her because she tried to dodge around an answer, tried to create a word salad, and the anchor just slapped that plate right out of her hand.
Wasn't Joe Biden then, to put it on him, wasn't his refusal to recognize his own frailties the reason that you faced a nearly impossible task?
Yeah.
I ran against Donald Trump for president. And Donald Trump...
You're going to lose IQ points. If you're a Democrat, you might want to turn off the radio right now because your autonomic breathing system needs some intelligence. Otherwise, you'll stop breathing. And you're pretty close if you're a Democrat.
Ran on a platform that was, in large part, I believe, misrepresenting his intentions to the American people. Really? I do believe that there are a fair number of people that voted for Donald Trump who believed him when he told them that his first priority on day one is going to be to bring down prices. And he didn't. And you combine that misrepresentation of...
How's it going to bring down prices on day one, you moron?
...intention with also what was at play in terms
not a switch.
Of massive amounts of mis and disinformation.
Now, forgive me.
And a truncated calendar in terms of the clock.
I want to interrupt you because that is a world-class pivot, but it is not the question that I asked you, which is about Joe Biden's failure to recognize his own frailties and what that did to you. The question is about Joe Biden. Are you still reluctant to criticize the former president?
In what regard, please?
Well, just in terms of that question. So you went on...
What exactly would you like to ask?
Oh, is that word salad all over the floor? I slept on it. The dressing.
Was it Joe Biden's decision, his failure...
word salad is croutons and breadsticks. Oh, my God.
To recognize his own frailties in that position.
It's everywhere. Yeah, she never gets challenged, and I'm sorry if you dropped a few IQ points. If you're a regular listener, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Democrats, you might want to sit down and do some breathing exercises. Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto, joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey, guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his fresh pressed olive oil club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
We're sinking vessels, one's loaded with drugs. Mow the boat down with U.S. airstrikes to target the thugs. We think it's time to mow the boats down. Narco-terrorism we won't tolerate. Mow those boats down. Stop your drug traffic before it's too late. Otherwise, we'll mow your boat down. Shape up Venezuela, or we might attack. Maduro, we will take down. Drug boats you're sending will never come back. We'll sink them all and watch the men drown. We know who you are, we'll mow your boat down. Won't get very far, we'll mow the boat down.
I made the Democrats look incredibly dumb. Inflation is down, the economy's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come since we bombed Iran. Taking out all their nukes, that was part of the plan. The border's secure once again. Illegals are getting in. Doge has saved us billions. This is what it's like to win. Best is yet to come, and it's gonna be fine. Best is yet to come, hear the Democrats whine. Listen to them whine. The last laugh is mine.
I was in a state of shock.
Really? Did you think the day before that you were going to win the election?
I did.
Yeah. And so when did the proverbial penny drop?
When I got a call from my campaign manager that it looks like We need 200,000 more votes that we can't find.
Yeah. And we can't.
Meaning
like
it's
we
just
did
the
in
map,
2020.
the numbers. And the thing I kept saying.
Okay, I can't hear her voice anymore. I'm losing IQ points. I'm down below 170. Anyway, yeah, that's Kamala Harris. She's promoting this book. I don't know how many books she's selling, but who the hell would buy that piece of crap? What is it called? 107 Days or something? Whatever. Anyway, and by the way, I knew she was going to lose the day she was announced. And I got to find the air check. The day that she was announced, and I laughed that Kamala Harris thought she could run and win the presidency. It was laughable. They spent $2 billion trying to sell us a crap sandwich. If Subway did something like this, they'd fire everybody on the board. From Hollywood and Toto, Christian Toto joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. How you doing on this Friday, on this Halloween, my friend?
That's a scary person that you have.
I know. Did you see the interview she did with Jon Stewart, where Jon Stewart was gobsmacked that she thought that Joe Biden's brain was fine, and she said, "Oh no, but the difference is there's a difference between being the president and running, because running is much harder, and just being the president, I don't know, the guy with the hand on the nuclear suitcase, that's not a big deal." I mean, it was so absurd, right? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Listen, he's playing like he's outraged and he's shocked and he's this and he's that. But he knew all of this. He knew that she was a big dum-dum, and he also knew that Biden's brain was mush, and he didn't say boo about it. So I spare me your tears, Jon Stewart, because you could have used your comedic talents to let people know about this, and you didn't. You made a choice, and now that it's safe to be shocked and alarmed, you're shocked and alarmed. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, like Jake Tapper. Dear God. Now, I saw a story earlier the week that Stewart's contract is up, and he's wanting another contract. But right now he works 1 day a week at Comedy Central, which is the only thing keeping Comedy Central afloat, by the way. Everybody else on staff not making, of course, nearly the money, and a lot of the big names they previously had are gone. What do you think is going to happen with Comedy Central and Jon Stewart?
I think they have to resign. I think they have to resign him. I'm sure they'll quietly maybe do a deal that's much less robust as the one in the past. He is their brand, for better or worse. And listen, that's all he's got now. He tried to be a director of films, and he did 2 films, and no one cared. And then he went to Apple TV Plus, and he had a show which was a little bit more serious, a little bit more sober, and no one cared. This is his shtick right now. This is his brand. This is what he can do. And I think for Comedy Central, it's what they want. And listen, I would imagine the powers that be at Comedy Central are left-leaning. The content certainly shows it. And they want to have him out there. And again, we're in this weird space now. Heaven forbid we take him off the air or take him off the air, and all of a sudden it's again a democracy, and they don't want to face that.
I know, of course. Bunch of bullcrap. I do love the fact that being offensive is back in comedy. I think it's wonderful. And it is. I see, like Matt Rife. I just saw a thing about Matt Rife. You know Matt Rife? He's the guy who, he's brilliant. No one works a crowd like Matt Rife. He's a young guy, and a lot of the times people who are handicapped go to see his shows, and because he will make fun of a handicapped person. And you're thinking, oh my God, that's so terrible. But do you know what it means to be included? Do you know what it means to be recognized by those people? You see people with profound disabilities, and he's riffing on them. And they love it because they get tired of being treated so gingerly and so like they're children. And he's just incredible. He is so gosh darn good, Matt Rife.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz has a similar philosophy, and I agree with it. For the reasons you mentioned, but also, you can tell with a comedian where their hearts are.
Yes.
Whether they're doing to be vicious and cruel, or whether they're just kind of having fun.
Yes.
And you could tell, I've seen Carlos Mencia. He's really on board with this as well. He's a comedian. He pokes fun at everybody. Yeah. But there's such a joy to his performance and such a sense of, hey, we're just having a great time. And I think that's infectious, and I think that's important. And then if there was a comedian out there who was mean and cruel and doing those jokes, I think he or she wouldn't last a week.
No, but Rife has just got, there's no one who works a crowd better. And listen, brother, when I'm in front of an audience and I'm working a crowd, I can work a crowd like you wouldn't believe. This guy, I just marvel at him. It just riffs, and people love him, and they bring him gifts, and if they give him a gift, he'll make fun of them, and they love it. And when you've got somebody who's got, maybe cerebral palsy and barely able to speak, if not speak at all, and he's riffing on it, and they love it. It's just so... glorious because so many people are so marginalized by society. The blind and the deaf are, I would presume, the deaf even more so, oddly enough, than the blind. But it is they are marginalized by society. And sometimes the best tribute you can give somebody is to roast them. People who are really loved get roasted, right? Right?
Yeah, and often the people who are the most offended are not the people who may have that particular disability.
Well, of course it is, because they're Karen. They're Karen.
Yeah,
That's Karen. Karen's always willing to step forward and be offended for somebody else. By the way, Rachel Maddow criticizing Comcast. Listen to this.
Velo Airlines. For every Paul Weiss law firm and all the other law firms that did corrupt deals with Trump. For every corporation, like our parent company.
She's talking about Comcast funding the ballroom.
For another hot minute. Comcast, that wants to pay for Trump to take a literal wrecking ball, an excavator to the White House. Those public-facing companies should know there's a cost.
Now, I got to tell you, you do not bite the hand that feeds you. She made, $25 million, an absurd amount of money for MSNBC. And I think that's skating on thin ice. What do you think?
I think that's her shtick, and I think they almost expect at this point. I don't think they care. Listen, whatever MSNBC or MS Now has, a lot of it's based on Rachel Maddow and her audience. I mean, she's the quote-unquote star of that network. And by the way, there's been a lot of crazy stories and a lot of overreactions that we've seen in the last 10 years. The overreaction to the ballroom is maybe top 3, if not the top. It's flabbergasted. All you do is a 2-second Google search. Oh, it's been done before. Oh, it's actually cost the taxpayers more money. Oh, there's a real need for this. Oh, it's going to exist and thrive long past Trump.
Oh, and he's one of the best builders and real estate developers in history. There's that, too.
Yeah. He's uniquely qualified to do
Yes, I know. He would have bid for the Bram project if he wasn't the president, and he probably would have won the bid because he would get it done on time and on budget. Honestly, just so ridiculous. After the break, I want to talk about Halloween, but I do want one other thing. CBS is a major shakeup. They're saying they're letting Gayle King go, possibly. I think they should have a No Kings protest, and also they're getting rid of this race division or something. What's happening at CNN? Or at CBS with Barry Weiss as the head of the newsroom?
She's cleaning house. She's trying to get it more lean and mean. She's trying to make sure that it's efficient and effective. She understands that journalism is on a very slippery slope right now. It's just not making the money it used to. And I don't think Gayle King is a star, nor do I think she gets a lot of ratings. So why wouldn't she be gone? She probably has a massive salary.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it is remarkable to see CBS obviously getting the heavy because they went after Donald Trump. They didn't go after, they went after Donald Trump, but obviously they got sued and lost because they edited a Kamala Harris interview to make her sound intelligent. Big mistake, because whenever she looks intelligent on television, it obviously is the editing. So I want to cover some Halloween stuff on the other side of the break. Christian Toto, is that cool with you?
Of course.
All right, let's take a break. Hollywood in Toto, by the way. HollywoodInToto.com. Do it. He covers Hollywood if you're interested. And listen, we watch movies. We listen to music. It's okay. You can be conservative. You can still watch TV and watch movies. It's fine. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Give you a countdown.
Dig it.
3, 2, 1.
Special thriller.
Darkness falls across D.C. with Democrats too blind to see. For the shutdown, they will get the blame. We'll call out Schumer by his name. The American people they'll deprive to keep their evil hopes alive. They want us to fund trans surgery, health care for illegals completely free. Their real motives they'll deny, as Schumer tells another lie. 13 times they voted no. Voters will tell them it's time to go. That is why they're filled with fright. They'll lose big election night.
Yes.
The House the Democrats won't take, even with votes we know are fake. Hakeem Jeffries, what a sap. He's the reason you won't get your snap.
A little treat for you. Christian Toto, a little treat for you there, man. You didn't even have to say trick or treat for it. What do you think?
I love it. I didn't think I could enjoy that anymore, that song, but apparently I can. That's
I swear to God. You know, I was down, I live in Old Town Alexandria, and there's a place called King Street here, and it's phenomenal. If you ever come to D.C., I'll take you there. It's fantastic. And there was a guy doing Michael Jackson covers, and he owned it. He's got this PA and his mic, and I said, dude, do Thriller. He wouldn't do it, because I know people would try to do what they could remember of that dance, and they would have done it. Because that dance is still huge, man. That dance is still huge. I was in high school when that album came out, and I remember it was so funny because Van Halen came out in 1984 and Thriller the same year, and I have white kids in Iowa. It was so funny to watch white kids in Iowa learn to moonwalk. It was it was just phenomenal. It was huge. Obviously, Halloween is coming up. A lot of things to watch. I was looking at Hollywood and Toto. Hold on one second. I'm trying to grab it here because you got so much stuff. I've got so many windows open. It's not even funny. It's cold in here. You have something here. I'm not sure if this is a Halloween movie, but Begonia. Well, you say this is the year's wildest ride. Tell me about this, bro.
Yeah, it's opening this weekend. It's got Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons is a great actor. You've seen him in a million things. He's not a household name, but he should be.
Yeah.
And it's about these two conspiracy theorists who think that a pharmaceutical CEO is an alien. She's hiding the fact that she's an alien and she's evil and she's wicked. Yeah. So they kidnap her and try to force her to kind of fess up. And Emma Stone plays the pharmaceutical kingpin and maybe alien. And it's pretty wild. It's got some thriller elements, some black comedy. There's some social comedy. It's from the left for sure.
I can't believe it's Emma Stone. I can't believe it's Emma Stone. I mean, I've seen the trailer, and it really, I mean, it is a trailer that grabs you. You're like, wow, yeah. wow. I mean, I really want to go see this.
Yeah, you know, it's a really wild and wacky movie. It certainly gets silly and sillier as things go along. Really? Yet it's also dark. It's also cruel at times. It's just a fascinating ride. The ending is just, it goes bonkers.
Really?
I can't defend it. I can't even explain it, but It's just a wild ride, and there is something about a movie that is original and fresh and different with two terrific actors in it. And listen, Emma Stone, she shaves her head for the role. She's just a flat-out great actress. She can do anything. And again, Jesse Plemons, who's seen him in so much stuff, is terrific and chilling, and also oddly sympathetic, even though he's technically a villain here.
Now, remember The Substance. The way you're describing it reminds me of The Substance with Demi Moore, which was this highly, and it was. It was very hard to watch. It was very good. The ending was just, oh, come on. I mean, really, duh.
Yeah.
It was like it's like the statement about beauty, and I mean, vomitous ending. I mean, just an absolutely stupid ending on the movie. It was like Carrie meets whatever. It was just stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, but I thought opposite then I was really enjoying it. I was engaged by it. The whole commentary about aging and beauty and the culture.
Yes.
It felt a little like they kind of made the point and they remade the point and they made it the point again. But it still was kind of shocking, and I have to say, I watch anything gore, R-rated horror stuff.
Yeah,
I had to turn away in that one.
I couldn't relate because I'm getting hotter with age. That's maybe why the reason is what it is.
There you go. It felt weird.
I look pretty damn good. You also got on here the headline. This is from Barry Worst, who writes for you. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift saved by Jean Lefebvre. Graveyard Shift, something you might want to dig up from 1990 for Halloween.
Yeah, it's not one of his better adaptations for sure. What I've been just amazed by is that not only Stephen King has been prolific for decades. He just writes and writes and writes.
Yes.
But there have been so many movies and now TV shows as well based on his work, and some are good and some are lousy and some are amazing. And Misery might be among the best. The first It I thought was very good as well.
I can't watch
but it's just, this one person, his imagination has sparked an entire wing of horror movies. It's really remarkable.
I can watch neither one of those. I can't watch It. I cannot watch it. No, they're too friggin' scary. Sorry. And the new one was just as bad as the old one. My God, no way. No way. I can't do it. Let me ask you this, because in summation, because it is Halloween. Your go-to best horror whatever movie, terrifying movie that it is like a metaphor for every horror movie you've ever seen in your life. It is your go-to. What is it?
The Descent from, I think it was 2006. It's about 6 women who are cave experts. They go and I guess it's spelunking, where they go down the caves and they climb and they travel. And it's half of the movie is an adventure film, deep below the surface. The walls are closing in literally. They're trying to escape. They work together. There's teamwork. There's the friction between the main characters, and then they find out that they're not alone in those caverns.
All right, dude. You mentioned this to me before. Now I got to watch it.
Yeah.
Now I've got to watch it. I've got people coming over tonight, and I want to a scary movie. The Descent is what you're saying is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and the sequel was okay, not nearly as good, but I highly recommend it. But one caveat, I introduced it to my 14-year-old son recently.
Yes.
And he said, Dad, I didn't like it, and I was so crestfallen. I can't.
I know. Yeah, you want to hear?
I needed to take a knee.
You know what happened to me? I showed my son Spinal Tap, and
oh no,
it wasn't as good to him as it was for me.
But it was. I think in that case, the culture of rock is so different now.
Exactly.
I think anyone growing up today, it's just not the same. But
all right, Christian Toto, where can people find all your work? Also, your podcast.
Yeah, it's just all things are HollywoodInToto.com. That's my handle on X. It's my YouTube channel. So just go there. You'll find all the stuff.
All right, I'm going to watch The Descent, man. And if I have nightmares, I'm going to talk to you about it next week. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. I don't usually watch horror movies. Although I love Sinners. It is so good, and it's kind of sexy too. Sinners is sexy as hell. There are parts of it that's sexy as hell. And the thing about Sinners, guys, it's loosely based on Robert Johnson, the blues guitarist story. Robert Johnson disappeared from sight for a year and came back as a brilliant blues guitarist. He invented blues music, and they said that he sold his soul to the devil. And so the show is loosely based on Robert Johnson. They've got a character who's similar to Robert Johnson. He's in church and plays the guitar, and boy can play, and he can sing. And Michael Jordan plays 2 parts. He plays twins. And you don't even think he's the same guy. You don't even think he's the same guy. It is. Oh, there's this part. There's this scene in this movie where they go through the history of black culture and music in one single dance floor thing, and you go from blues to African culture to Jimi Hendrix in this dance. It is one of the best pieces of film I've ever seen. It is brilliant. So that's Sinners. Something I love. Sorry, Deplorable Dinosaur, Jesse James, new to the talk today. Glad to have you there. Adrian John as well. Over on the Facebook, we've got Brian Duffy and Sam Ken Potter. Good to have you guys over there. And lots of new people on YouTube. The Rumbly Roo, the usuals. Yeah, movie Ralph Macchio Crossroads. Yeah, similar. Yeah, similar. But Sinners is just outstanding. All right, I got to talk.
9.9 FM in Harford County.
It's about 250 here.
250. Since it is Halloween, I have to play this one more time.
Spooky, scary Democrats, they want you and me to foot the bill for gender surgery. Spooky, scary Democrats, they want to give illegals health care, paid for by me and you. We don't trust you Democrats, not one single bit. You're out to destroy this land, and you never quit. Spooky, scary Democrats, each of them supports late-term abortion, guys and women's sports. Spooky, scary Democrats, the shutdown is their fault. They are why the government has come to a halt. The death of their party, it is coming soon. Spooky, scary Democrats, you can never trust. Let's hope that the midterms for them will be a bust. Spooky, scary Democrats, spooky as can be.
That is Jim Gossett. Go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Give him $10 a month. He'll send you 2 parodies every day. It's brilliant. He's got like 3,000 songs he's done for this show. You know that I wrote for Limbaugh for many years. This is the most brilliant man I've ever worked with. And I told him the other day, because he did this parody. He did a parody with Donald Trump. And I said, I am Salieri and you are Mozart. I had to admit it. He's, boy, that's hard to say. He's a better writer. I hate to say that. He's a better comedy writer than me. Anyway, hey, if you get a chance to check out my TV show, it's Rob Carson's What in the World. It's on Sunday nights on Newsmax. Will you do that this weekend? Please do me that favor, okay? We were on Sunday night. I'd like the ratings to get boosted. I know a lot of you watch the show. Let's take it to a new level. Please do that. Write this down if you listen to this show. I'm looking at you in the camera. NewsmaxTV.com. Sunday nights following the Michael Savage Show, Rob Carson's What in the World. We made some changes to the show. I'm proud of the show. I think that it is a funny show, and I'm proud of the writing on the show, and I write it all myself, and I improvise all of the bits, and I hope you'll check it out, okay? Also, maybe if you could help out a food bank this weekend, that would be great. From the bottom of my heart, praying for those who are suffering as the Democrat Party shuts down the government, those who are missing your paychecks. Be strong and help out if you can. God bless you. America is founded. Donald Trump, what he's doing for the country. Happy Halloween, and until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
All right, Rob, don't be scared out there.
All right, bye.
Be careful. See you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real.